How you doing, pioneers? mjkk613.14. Pie through my eyes. mjkk61. Modern Pioneer English. Wanted to touch your talk on today on schools of thought, trains of thought in setting pi value. And I think there's probably about at least four different, coming at it from four different angles. Okay, and the biggest one to overcome is the ones that know the space, that have traded in the space, the crypto traders, the day traders, that have been through many projects, seen a lot of projects launch, seen a lot of projects do the same thing over and over again. And you're trying to make it or get people to believe that that's what it's going to be. And I know that's the information you're putting out. That pi will open for, I've seen it as low as 3 cents, and I've seen it 35 or 40 cents the other day. Okay? That pioneers are searching the web, coming up with pi values, and bringing them in your chat. It's all, anything you find on the exchange right now, any price you find listed on an exchange right now is false, incorrect information for this project. Okay? It's a speculator. If somebody's speculating on what they think the total supplies are going to be, circulating supply and all, okay? They're speculating on those numbers. And the numbers that they're getting, they're speculating pi value on those. Core has not put out any numbers. There is no running blockchain. Pi can have no listing on an exchange. Okay? Now, if they're trying to create a futures market, that's quite possible. But Core still hasn't put out any numbers. So they're guessing on that side. And they're guessing from what they know. What they know from the past, that's what they're going on for today. Then you have the new people in the space and the crypto, and they're believing these guys. They're believing what they can see on the exchange. They're believing what they're being told from people in the space. And neither one of them has really read pi, researched pi, and they don't have an idea about pi. They have an idea about crypto, but they don't have an idea about pi. Then you have the ones that know that the community will give pi its value, but they don't. I don't know whether they don't trust it or don't believe it or think it's whatever. They have it valued where at least it should start, but I think it's at borderline. Where they have it is borderline. Then you have another school, and this is one I'm behind. Okay, they have it valued right now where it needs to be, I believe. Okay, because they have it at a point, or they have it to a value that everyone inside the pi will be able to use their pi. And I know most people don't believe it. And even the ones that are trading in this economy, I listen to them, and they don't quite believe it. Okay? Okay. So, those are kind of the thinking or the philosophy behind setting pi value. Okay. Now, the day traders and the crypto traders, that's what they do. Okay, and I know they haven't read pi because otherwise their value wouldn't be that low. They wouldn't value their pie that low if they really read anything and understood what core is written. Okay. If you believe pi value is going to open for pennies, okay, under $1, if it's going to open for under $1, okay, but these guys have it pretty low. I mean, they have it under $0.25, and back when inapp transfers was first, we're getting close to inapp transfers, of core opening up inapp transfers. And at that time, the community had pi valued at 10 cents. We did. And it was getting, as it was getting closer, there were a couple of people that were making lists of buyers and sellers. And they were matching up buyers and sellers. And it was 10 cents. At that time, we as a community agreed 10 cents was good. Well, they were selling at 10, we were buying at 10. Okay? And today, or after it happened, today, I'm glad, and I know there's a lot in the community that were glad that how the in-app transfer went, that we couldn't do what we tried to do. Because if we'd have done what we were trying to do and trying to set up to do, we would have shut pi down. We would have shut it down. Because that's not the road, the path pi is taking. That's not the model pi is following. Okay. Pi is not following any model that's out there today. It's following its own path. Pi is making its own path into the space. I know the crypto traders and day traders and all that. No, that's not how it's going to be. That's not how it's going to be. Yeah, that's how it's going to be. Or that's how it should be. The choice is going to come down to us. The bottom line. The choice is going to come down to us. So, here we go. The pi market, the pi lifestyles. The pi lifestyles is an economy that got started right around the first of the year, first of last year, in February, March, somewhere in that neighborhood. And at that time, at the time it brought its economy up, it had it valued at $10 per pi. And it made some trades at $10 per pi and started listening to the bigger community and people coming in and whatever. Okay. And they realized real quick that $10 was too low. Because at $10, the last, and I look at it from the last group for today coming in, wouldn't be able to use their pi. The founders of Lifestyles actually looked out to 100 million people. I mean, that's where we're 10 million right now. They looked out a ways out. And it had to go up. It had to go up $100 minimums, okay? Because when we start getting out that far, we're mining at a slower rate now. So the accumulating pi or being able to recover pi is, it's going to be minimal. So if somebody wipes their stack out on their first transaction, or if there's a possibility of them wiping their stack out on the first transaction, they won't spend it. Pi is built to be used, to be spent, to buy stuff, to change hands as much as it can. Okay. So, whether you believe it or not, that's where it is. So, right now they have about 1,200 transactions, a little over 1,200 transactions, trading pi for goods and services. There's no trading pi for cash or gift cards or anything. We can't do it. We can't do it. If you do, if the sale happens, you will lose all parties involved. You will lose your account. You will lose your pi, lose your account, and be banned from pi. Okay. That is straight from core. Not too long ago. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's what we were putting out. But But it came down from Core that a sale happens, they will freeze your account. They will freeze your account, freeze your pie, and most likely it'll be gone because we can't do it. Okay? So when you're hearing these values, $100 right now is tradable for goods and services. Okay? And I've also listened to a lot of people. Well, you can't do that because then they can't resupply their inventory. Okay. You gotta remember, pie is just getting started. Pie is just getting started. And the ones that are doing the selling, I mean, if they have a product to sell, they're the ones taking the risk. Okay? And they're taking the risk for the benefit of the community and the benefit of pie. Because if somebody doesn't take that risk and take that chance to get the economies going, it will move. The pie will move. Okay. So, us that are thinking, or that, because I get into a conversation with a couple of people about that's too high. The value on that's too high because it's too much monetary value to it, and we don't have that much. Okay, and somebody's gonna come in and wipe this out, that out, and whatever. Okay. And it isn't that I don't disagree with him. It's going to come down to us. And I mean, if you're looking to do that to destroy pie, because I mean, if some whale comes in and he buys everybody's inventory out and nobody else can get any, well, that you don't need to be here. You don't, because it's going to take all of us to get pie economy going, started, making the transactions and getting it strong. Yes, and I know the numbers. You put all that and you do it $100 tradable value. And yeah, you come up with some big dollars. You come up with some big dollars. Okay. That's also not our concern. Okay. Our job is to get pie economy moving. To make the transactions, just get it solid. Make more transactions to get it strong. That's our job. Pie's not free money. And we need to stop that thought too. Pie is not free money. As much as anybody wants to say that it's free money, pie is not free money. We are earning our pie as pie miners right now. Even though it's on an emulator, we are earning pie as pie miners. We're going to be doing the economy, helping build the apps, getting involved and getting on one of the teams or whatever. We have a job to do. We are doing a job. So pie's not a game. Pie's the money. We just don't get paid until the job is finished. But we're not earning free money. We're not. We're earning pie for doing a job. Pushing a button every day, doing a job. It's about how perspective. Pie is not free money. So that's the lifestyle, and they got it moving. They got the economy moving. I mean, they got 1,200 transactions to back it up. Yes, it's not a lot, but there's not a lot that have the inapp transfer capability. There's not a lot of people. I think there's like 200 or 300. I think around 300 that have the actual inapp capability. And this is where another school. Okay, there's Pi Network Marketplace, and it came up around the same time. I think it came up before Lifestyles, about the same time that the in-app transfer started, and they started theirs out at pennies. They started theirs out at pennies, and I don't know how many transactions they did in the very, in the beginning. There was some, but the value that they had it at was it was too low. I mean, it was too low. Now, since then, from what I've understand, that marketplace, that community, has raised theirs to $10 pie. And from where that marketplace started and where it is now, they've stretched out. I mean, it's got, yeah, there is a lot going on inside that economy, but I haven't followed it close enough to tell you how many transactions there are and that kind of stuff. To me, it seemed like it was moving. It was moving at a turtle space, snail space. Okay. And the majority of people that have the availability, the majority of people, are in that marketplace. Me looking at an expectation on it, my expectations on it may have been a little bit higher. I don't know. So, but it's legit, and it is moving, and then there's Facebook. Facebook also started their economy from their group, from their unofficial group, and they started at $10. Okay, they started at $10, the same that Lifestyles did, and because founders of Lifestyles and the founders of the Facebook group talk pretty regularly, they used to, so they were kind of on the same page of where Pi should be, and I don't know how many transactions they have, but it's been up and running since the inapp transfer. So I'm sure there's some transactions in there. Okay. Now, when the inapp transfer started, and at $10 a pie, okay, I also think it wasn't said, and it wasn't written, and it wasn't posted. But I believe the majority of the community missed or didn't catch or didn't pay attention to the very first sale of Pi, the first transaction of Pi. It was done by Core Team. The first transaction of Pi officially was done by Core Team. And they paid for a Pi domain they bought it from a domain trader out of China. And I think they gave, I want to say 10,000 Pi to buy this domain. And I think it was a Pi.com. And at that time, nobody was saying how much, couldn't find out how much it was worth, how much the domain was worth, and there were numbers all over the place. But I got lucky one night, I was in chat, and the gentleman that sold Core, the domain came in, and just through chat or whatever, he put out a number for that domain, what that domain would run. And I don't remember what the number was, and at that time I didn't really know how to convert currency, not cryptocurrencies into. Yeah, it took me. The only reason I remember because I sat in my driveway one night after I got off work, and it took me probably about an hour and a half to get it figured out. And that first sale was about $15 a pie. Is what the math came out. Mm-hmm. So, and I know it was just one transaction, but it was who made it, what they gave for it, and what they got. $15 a pie. So, the two marketplaces at $10 were close, a little low, but they were in the ballpark. The second place, or the marketplace, and they had it listed in rupees. And man, it was down there. I mean, it was under 25 cents, I think. To start with, I think it was under. I think, if I remember right, it was under a quarter. So, yeah. Since then, they come. So, the ones that are looking to set Pi value through the economy, or through the community and the economy, where it should be, we're on the same page. Relatively close on the same page. Now, the crypto traders have always held it down. Always. to this day. If you talk to them to this day, I'm sure they haven't figured that it's going to open for under a dime or around a dime. 15 cents best. Okay? And they're telling everybody that that's what's going to happen. And the new pioneers to the space and to the crypto are buying it, hook, line, and sinker. Anybody that is here less than 30 days and asking how to withdraw, where to sell, and what pi value is, you're just okay. If you've been here less than 30 days and you're all ready to withdraw, to sell, what's pi value? All of that is irrelevant right now, unimportant. Because we can't do any of it. We can't withdraw it. We can't sell it. And it can't be, there's no way to get a number to convert it. So, okay. So where the issue is going to come in is we need to switch our mindset. Okay, our mindset needs to switch, because if you value your pi that low, when it does go to if it goes to the exchange, okay, when pi launches phase 3, there's no guarantee that pi is going to go to the exchange. There's no guarantee that any exchange is going to list it. And they'll list it. Okay. Now, I don't know of too many cryptos out there, brand new projects, brand new unproven projects. They have nothing to show to prove anything. So why would an exchange, out of the goodness of their heart, list pi? Because the only way to get listed on the exchange is either pay for it or run an IEO.